everyone. Tonight we are making chicken piccata for dinner. And I will be serving that over some, well, normally angel hair pasta, but I had spaghetti, so I'm using that. Some pasta, and then we're gonna serve some roasted green beans alongside that I'm gonna toss with just a little bit of brown butter and some fresh lemon. So basically chicken piccata is chicken cutlets. So I just took some chicken breasts, cut them in half, pounded them thin, about a 1/4 inch, a little bit bigger. You can do salmon or something like that as well. We're just gonna do a light dusting of flour, or if you're gluten-free, you can do cornstarch on those. Those get pan sauteed, and then basically it's a lemon caper butter sauce that goes over the top. We toss it with the pasta as well. So it's a pretty basic dish. You can include a little bit of white wine into it if you want. I'm just gonna do chicken broth, but you can do a little bit of white wine. You can add a little bit of cream into the sauce and make it kind of a creamier sauce. It's kind of up to you on what you wanna do. So, stuff that I have out ready to go, kind of to do my prep for this. I do have a little bit of chicken broth here. I have some fresh lemon. I have capers, which are actually a bud of a plant. A lot of people don't know that. They're a bud of a plant, and then they pack them in brine. I have a little Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna put that in with the flour. I have a couple shallots, some garlic, some butter, and then I have just a little bit of cornstarch. I will use that if I feel like I want to thicken the sauce a little bit. I don't use cornstarch a ton to thicken sauce. I'd rather use a roux, but for this dish, a little bit of cornstarch goes a long way. But the main thing with your cornstarch, I have about a tablespoon in there, is you need to mix it with a liquid first before you add it. So whether you mix it with water, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little chicken broth in because I'm using chicken broth in the dish. And you wanna make sure to stir it up, and then it's all stirred and ready to go. If you just throw the dry cornstarch in with your hot sauce while it's cooking, it's just gonna stay lumpy, and you're just gonna have lumps of cornstarch in there. So you just wanna make sure that's mixed in and ready to go. I have my flour here, my chicken, and then I went ahead and turned the heat on underneath my butter. This is just 2 tablespoons. I'm just doing a little bit of brown butter to give some flavor to our green beans that I'm gonna roast. And then I went ahead and already pre-cooked my pasta. So it's already cooked, it's in my pan. I did mix in just a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of the chicken broth, and kind of mix that in just to keep it from turning into one big clump of pasta. And I went ahead and did it early because you're gonna take that pasta and toss it in with your hot lemon caper sauce anyhow, so it'll warm it back up. So to start, I think we'll just get our prep done. I am going to do our garlic. Just give them a light smash. You don't wanna totally smush them. And I have 3 pretty decent sized garlic cloves. And with these, you're just gonna slice them super, super thin, paper thin if you can. You can chop them if you want. If you have a little slicer, you can use that as well. And we're gonna throw them in a bowl with our sliced up shallots. So you're just gonna take them, and you're just gonna, as thin as you can get them. So you're just gonna slice that garlic up nice and thin. Put it in your little bowl there. You wanna use more or less garlic, you can. This is a pretty good amount for this dish, but we like it. All right, I have my damn clean rag here, wipe my hands on, because as always, the garlic's a little bit sticky. Check on my brown butter. I just have it on like a medium heat. Still has a little bit to go. So I just have 2 small shallots. I'm gonna slice those up. If you can't find shallots, you don't have to use them. I just like to add it in there. I think it adds a good layer of flavor. So just like an onion, cut the end off. Peel off that outer layer. Okay, and just like you did the garlic, we're just gonna slice them very thin. Again, if you have a mandolin or something like that, you can use that. We're just gonna do nice thin slices. Whoop. Okay, I can smell that butter. Let's see. All right. It's just barely starting to brown around the edges, so just shake the pan a little bit. We're gonna let it go a couple more minutes. Now we'll turn the heat off under there. Same thing with this, just like the garlic. If you feel like you want to chop it up, that's okay too. All right, so there should be plenty. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that right in the bowl with the garlic. Okay, so I have some lemon that's already cut up, ready to go. We'll cut up the other one as well. We're gonna squeeze some lemon right into the sauce as we're cooking it. We'll save a little bit of lemon for afterward, kind of just to throw on top at the very end. And then also some of it will go on our green beans as well. So at this point, we will go ahead and get our chicken ready to go. All right, my butter has a nice golden brown color. It smells really good. Nice and buttery, a little bit nutty. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that heat off and just let that sit there. And we will get our chicken ready to go. So, as always, when you're doing any kind of breading, even though this isn't a thick breading, you always wanna season every layer. So, this is a pretty simple one because you just wanna have a little bit of that crust on the chicken. So pepper. And some kosher salt. So we're gonna also go ahead and do some salt and pepper on both sides of our chicken. Okay. And this is a pretty quick cooking kind of dish. So once you have your prep done, it goes fairly quickly when you're ready to get it cooked for your family. All right, a little salt. All right, flip these over, do the same thing to the other side. Okay, into our flour, salt and pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese, fresh Parmesan. You can or cannot add it, totally up to you on what you wanna do. We usually always have some in the fridge, so why not add a little bit? Okay. So we'll mix that all together. Okay, at this point, we are just gonna take our cutlets here, press them down in there. And that's all you're looking to get. It's just a nice thin coating, but it'll give it just a little bit of a crust on there when you pan saute it. So you'll just take each one, get them in there. So go back and forth if you need to. Just make sure everything's covered, and then put them onto your pan here. All right, so all of our cutlets are coated, ready to go. I'm gonna push that to the side, and then we'll get our green beans ready to go. So I just have a pan with some parchment paper, or use foil, or whatever you want. I already cleaned my green beans, took off the little stem end, and rinse them. So we'll get these ready. And again, we're just gonna roast these in a hot oven. I like them to still be a little bit crunchy, so probably 400-degree oven, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. And so for these, we are going to take some olive oil. A nice good drizzle right over the top. Okay, salt and pepper. And you know what? I'm gonna go and do a little bit of garlic powder because why not? Just a little bit we'll throw on there. Okay. And then these just toss up with your hands, and then when you're ready to cook them, you just put them right into that hot oven, maybe about 7-8 minutes in. Whoop. Give that pan a shake, toss them around, And then, like I said, when they're done roasting, they will get tossed with our little bit of brown butter and a squeeze of fresh lemon over the top. So as far as your prep work, that is it. And then again, when it comes to cooking this, it's gonna go pretty quickly. You're gonna get a nice hot pan. You're gonna sear off your chicken, pull that out, make a quick lemon caper sauce, throw that chicken back in, serve it over your pasta with your green beans. All right, kids, I'm here to finish this up. And this is gonna move along fairly quickly. Again, my pasta's already made. My brown butter's ready to go. My oven is at 400 degrees. I am gonna throw those green beans in there and get those roasting. I have my pan over a medium plus heat, medium high heat. As you can see, I have about a tablespoon of butter in here, plus a drizzle of light olive oil. You can see it getting a little bit brown, so we are ready to go. So at this point, we are just going to take half of these. I'm gonna do about 4 of them, this first batch. And we are gonna cook them just a couple minutes on each side. Okay, just so they get a little bit nice and brown. Then we're gonna take them out of the pan. I am going to put them back on this pan, and only because we will be putting them back in our sauce to finish cooking them. So it'll cook off any of the raw chicken germs that are on there. So I am gonna go ahead and it's kind of pulling a little bit. Just kind of tilt my pan around. I wanna make sure that that butter and oil does a nice coating underneath. Okay, so about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. Nice little golden brown color there. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and flip all of them. So we'll flip those over. And then same thing, some of the butter and oil is kind of pulling to one side of the pan. Just tilt it to make sure it gets underneath everything. And then sitting right here, I have my salt and pepper, everything. I have my capers, I've got my lemon, my chicken broth, I've got my shallots and garlic, a little bit of butter. This was the cornstarch that we got ready. Give it a stir because it'll kind of settle. And then I went ahead and opened up a bottle of Chardonnay. So I do have a little bit of wine that I'm going to add. You do not have to add it at all. The chicken broth is just fine, or vegetable broth if you're doing this with fish. All right, we're going to take these out. Put them back on the pan. You can see both sides, and nice and brown. I am going to throw, casualty. And throw in a little bit more butter. Turn my heat down just a tiny bit. A little bit more olive oil. All right. So just make sure that's coating the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to add my other 3 pieces of chicken. All right. Gonna go ahead and turn that heat back up just a little bit. Just be careful so it doesn't splatter you. So then once these are done, we're gonna take them out and then we'll get our sauce going. And then we are gonna put, like I said, that chicken right back in there. All right. So it's been about 3 minutes or so. Give them a flip. Let them cook about, 2-3 minutes on this side. I am gonna go ahead and turn the heat down to low on this pan. If you're using a cast iron pan like I am, or one of the heavy bottom pans, they do hold their heat for quite a long time. So we're getting ready to throw our shallots and garlic in there, and I don't want it to burn it. So we're gonna go ahead and get that heat turned down. I wanna be able to saute it for a minute without it getting too brown.